Hello champions, welcome to yet another session on psychology, that is lecture 2, and in this lecture we are going to discuss the important points from chapter 2. Now because there is only 7 days late for your exam, so it is very essential that you all go through the syllabus in a minute way and religious way so that everything is covered within these 7 days, and I hope that you all are going according to the time management strategy that we are providing here at BBS. So it is very essential, आप लोगों के लिए ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि टाइम कैसे मैनेज करें, that too very before the exam. So it is very essential, यहाँ पे बहुत ज़रूरी है कि आप लोग sorry. Okay, I think you haven't heard anything, so I have just put on the speaker. So today's session, welcome again to the session. So today's session is lecture 2 of psychology, and here in this session we are going to discuss the important points from chapter 2 of your psychology 12th standard paper. Now, as you know, there are 9 chapters, and we have covered the first chapter, which is a lengthier chapter from the other chapters in comparison to the other chapters in the earlier session, that is yesterday. And though it was due to some technical issue, it is listed in the playlist. Okay, I need everyone to go through that session, that is in the playlist of BPS in YouTube and Facebook. And whenever there is some technical issue, go directly to the BPS page of which is available in the Facebook, so that you can avail into the live sessions that we are providing here in this 10 days crash course time. So it is very essential actually for you all people to make a time management, a proper time management. And the earlier class, that is the yesterday's class on psychology, that is lecture 1 psychology class, the session, in that session I have discussed in Hindi as well as in Assamese. So it is going to cater to the needs of the people who wants my class to be delivered in Hindi, and a lot of students are asking actually about the psychology class should be delivered in Hindi. So बच्चों ऐसा होता है कि हम लोग यहाँ पे जो शब्द है मनोविज्ञान के साथ रिलेटेड, वो एग्जैक्ट टर्म हम लोग लाइफ डेली लाइफ में यूज़ नहीं करते हैं. तो जब भी हम लोग कुछ एक्सप्लेन करते हैं तो ये एक नॉर्मल हिंदी लैंग्वेज में या फिर नॉर्मल एसएमएस लैंग्वेज में हम लोग वो एक्सप्लेन कर देते हैं, सो दैट आप लोगों के बीच वो कन्फ्यूजन ना रहे. और ऐसे एक्सप्लेन होता है कि वो एक्सप्लेनेशन बहुत ही सिंपल लैंग्वेज में होता है, और अगर आप लोगों को इससे भी ज़्यादा डिटेल एनालिसिस चाहिए, क्योंकि एक बात तो है कि टाइम बहुत कम है अभी एग्ज़ाम के लिए, तो हम लोग चाहते हैं कि आप लोगों जितना भी इंटरेक्ट और कमेंट कर सके, टू द पॉइंट अगर कुछ भी है तो वो क्वेश्चन आप लोग करें, एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दैट हम लोग नेक्स्ट सेशन में विद इन दिस 7 days term we will discuss the important points, the important things which you are confused upon. So जो भी confusion है वो हम लोगों को आप लोग शेयर करेंगे, तो उसी के बेसिस में हम लोग वो एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे इंडिविजुअली, एंटरिंग इनटू द इंडिविजुअल डोमेन. सो इंडिविजुअली हम लोग इंटरेक्ट करके वो कन्फ्यूजन क्लियर कर सकते हैं. So go through the session that is in the playlist of the BPS website in YouTube and Facebook, and even in the BPS website itself. So if you because that session, the earlier session, was a lengthier explanatory in a simple term, that too in English, Hindi and Assamese. Yes. So today's session, it is a continuation of yesterday's class, because in yesterday's class I have just started with the important points from chapter 2. So self and personality, self concept of self-esteem, self-efficacy, self-regulation, which is frequently asked in our CUET undergraduate exam. So I have given a star mark, and please, I insist that you go through the session, yesterday's session, and it is frequently asked in your exam. What is self-efficacy? Self-efficacy is nothing but it is the regulation of your activities in a moderate way, where you need to regulate, where you need to control. So there is also a difference between control and regulation. So control is a normal term, a narrower term, where you are going to control your urges, your desires. But regulation is something where you are taking harsh steps in order to control yourself. So the higher version of control is regulation. Yes, and when this regulation is imbibed with, यहाँ पे जब आप लोगों का control प्लस रेगुलेशन प्लस एस्टीम मिलके जो होता है उसे बोलते हैं हम लोग सेल्फ एफिकेसी. ओके, सो इट इज़ फॉर योर बेटरमेंट दैट यू सेल्फ एफिकेट योर सेल्फ. यस, नेक्स्ट the continuation is endomorphic, mesomorphic and ectomorphic. So these are the three concepts of our personality. Sorry. Which was given by whom? It was Sheldon who proposed the endomorphic, mesomorphic and ectomorphic. It was by Sheldon. Next we have for today, this explanation I have done in the earlier session. So because we are in a crisis of time, we need you people to make more of the sessions to be more fruitful. The next one is type A, B, C, D personality, and this was given by two persons, and they are Friedman and Rosenman. So these two people have analyzed and differentiated the four types of personality, where the first type, type A, is a person who is always overburdened with work and he has the tendency to be tired anytime and every time, and he complains about his daily life. Now type B is someone who doesn't have these kind of qualities that is present in type A. That means the person who are not very much complaining, they are not very tired. But type C, what is type C as mentioned? Now Morris, the another psychologist, Morris has suggested type C personality, and according to him it is prone to cancer. That means a person who is prone to cancer, or who may take the habit of who may be affected by the disease of cancer, these people are termed as the type C people. So these people are individuals characterized by this personality are cooperative, unassertive and patient. They suppress their negative emotions and show compliance to authority. Now these are the people who are very much in person social, and they are very much assertive, and they are very much patient. Patient means they have the ability of patience, dhorja or dharya we can say. And the group D personality are the people who have the proneness of depression. Now see, group A, B, C, D, these are the people, these are the common people who are always complaining, they are tired. And the group B is the people who are not common. They are not having the common things, qualities. Now, number C is the people who are cancer prone and social. And they are also very much dominating, or we can say that they are they accept authority and whatever the orders are given by the authority. And group D are the people who are always depressed. So please jot it down whatever I have written in the board, because it is very important for you all people to identify. After that we have Alport's trait theory, and which is based on the three. First jot it down, this one. Yes? Yes. Next we have, this is clear, I hope so. Then we have the Alport's trait theory, and the person, that is Alport. It's actually the name of the psychologist, Alport's trait theory, and he based, according to him, the personality can be divided into three types, that is cardinal, which is very generalized behavior or personality traits, or we can say the features of a person. They are very general. Cardinal is also to some extent general, but at the same time it is minimal. And the secondary traits are something which is very less general. That means they are very unique, or we can say they are very minute and scarce. So the thing which is very less is called the secondary traits, and according to him, he has based these traits on the people who are very generalized common people. So this is clear, hope so. The important things which is frequently asked in the exams is emphasized in these classes, because there is less time and we are in a position that time crisis is also there and we need to manage time also. So hope this is clear and you have jotted down. Yes everyone, आप लोग ये सब लिख लिए हैं आपके रफ कॉपीज़ में, और जो इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है यहाँ पे हम लोग विस्तार में डिटेल में एक्चुअली एक्सप्लेन करते हैं, so that you don't have any confusion in relation to the concepts. Yes. Next we have the 16 personality factor test. Then we have Eysenck's personality test. Then we have id-ego. Now see, there are personality test, and we will be getting the multifaceted test also, that is MMPI, and this is 16PF. The acronym is 16PF, that is personality test, and we have also the Eysenck's personality test. Now in order to identify someone's behavior, someone's knowledge, and how to face a particular situation and cope up with that situation depends on these personality tests. And in order to identify a person, we need some clinical help, and the clinical procedure which is undertaken by the psychologist is termed into these categories, and these are very commonly used clinically by psychologists. ये आप लोगों को याद रखना है कि ये personality test जो है, हम लोग 4 personality test को विस्तार में यहाँ पे समझाएंगे, जो बहुत ही आप लोगों के एग्ज़ाम के लिए ज़रूरी है, इम्पॉर्टेंट है. सो ये टेस्ट क्या करवाते हैं कि आप जो भी पेशेंट होगा, पेशेंट के जो समझने का तरीका और अपने सिचुएशंस के साथ कोप अप करने का, एडजस्ट करने का तरीका, उसके ऊपर बेस्ड करके ये पर्सनैलिटी टेस्ट है. और ये पर्सनैलिटी टेस्ट में स्टेप वाइज वो पर्सनैलिटी को हम लोग एनालाइज एंड एग्जामाइन करते हैं. और कौन एग्जामाइन करता है? a psychologist who has undergone a training, a particular training to become a psychologist or a psychotherapist. Yes, আপোনালোকে ইয়াতে হয়তো বুজি পাইছে what আমি চাৰিটা ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট পাৰ্চনেলিটি টেষ্ট ইয়াতে অলপ ডিটেইলত বুজাম, যিটো বহুত পৰীক্ষাৰ কাৰণে ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট. আৰু এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ পাৰ্চনেলিটি টেষ্টে আমাৰ মানুহৰ কি ধৰণৰ ব্যৱহাৰ, কি ধৰণৰ এডজাষ্টমেণ্ট, এটা পৰিৱেশৰ লগত কেনেকৈ আমি খাপ খাওঁ, সেইটোৰ বিষয়ে সাইকোলজিষ্টবোৰে কেনেকৈ নিজৰ প্ৰচেছটো, নিজৰ এক্সামিনেশ্যন বা ৰিচাৰ্চটো কেৰি আউট কৰে, সেইটো আমি ইয়াত বুজাম. So the first one is 16PF. প্ৰথমটো হৈছে আমাৰ 16PF test. So this 16PF test was given by Raymond Kettle, and according to him, he has given a 16 test based on the surface traits that result out in interaction of source traits, and this is a kind of an assessment which is psychologically used. So Raymond Kettle These names are very important. जो आमी जोडियो भाबिबो पारो हम लोग ये समझ सकते हैं कि नाम इतना ज़रूरी नहीं है, but there may be match the following আহিব পাৰে য'ত আমাৰ এই নামবোৰ বহুত জৰুৰী হয় যে 16PF কোনে propound কৰিছে, কোনে discover কৰিছে, বা ধৰি লওক ইছেংছ পাৰ্চনেলিটি টেষ্ট কোনে কৰিছে, ইছেংকে কৰিছে বাৰু, কিন্তু 16PF-তো আমি নাজানো. So it is very important that we know the names. It is Raymond Cattell. Again, one more thing I just want to add in the middle of the thing, and I will, if I remember, so I will add it in the ending of the session also. So we are going to conduct a psychology test, psychology lecture that is on Tuesday. So Monday I am going to conduct an English test, session, that will be a lecture 2 of this crash course, and lecture 3 of psychology will be conducted in Tuesday, and so on Tuesday, and so I need you all people to join me in the live session, because live sessions are more effective than the sessions which you can go through at your ease at any time. So live sessions में आप लोग interact कर सकते हैं. Live sessions में we both on the both sides are very much active in order to interact and clear out the confusions. Yes. So Raymond Cattell has given that there are 16 tests, there are 16 character tests which can be done on the basis of the questionnaire. Questionnaire माने होइसे, questionnaire मतलब होता है a set of questions. So a set of questions is that a questionnaire on the basis of the 16 character traits. So questions বোৰ এনেকুৱা ধৰণে সোধা হয়, এনেকুৱা ধৰণে প্ৰশ্ন কৰা হয় য'ত আপোনালোকে হেনেকুৱা 16 character traits বোৰ যিটোত আপোনালোকে emphasize কৰে বা যিটো আপোনালোকৰ আছে সেইটো আপোনালোকৰ প্ৰকাশ পাব এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ টেষ্টবোৰত. So that one is 16PF. Next we have the Eysenck's personality test, which is very important in order to identify and make yourself eligible for any kind of professional job or occupation. So Eysenck's personality test was given by Eysenck himself, and according to him, he said that H.J. Eysenck, he has said that there are three concepts of our personality, and it is the neuroticism, extraversion and neuroversion. So we have the introvert extrovert concepts of personality in Eysenck's test, where we will understand that person who are extrovert, persons who are introvert, and persons who are facing some kind of neuro issues. So on the basis of that, we understand that how a person can be adapted to an official situation or to work in a professional environment. So depending on that, we understand that Eysenck's personality test is in order to understand. After that, we have the concepts of the unconscious. So in unconscious, what we have, hope you all have jotted down in your rough copies. This is very important. That is the unconscious. And who has given the concept of the unconscious and the analysis of the psychoanalysis? He is none other but Sigmund Freud. So this is the person, this is the psychologist, the famous psychologist who has given the concept of psychoanalysis, and he has tried to understand a human personality on the basis of the segregation or analysis of the unconscious. So in unconscious, according to him, there is the first concept, that is the concept of the practical, judgmental, or we can say the urge to understand oneself is id. So id is the concept where we know that it is the person's own identity or the identity of oneself. Next we have the ego. Now what is ego? Ego is the practical essence, or in order to carry out your urges, your desires, your aspirations, we need a practical sense, a practical overview of the life in order to bring out this id. So that is ego. Don't go with the term of ego with some other thing which we have a general understanding of. Ego means egoistic, means persons who are haughty or proudy. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग जो साइको एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस 4 पॉइंट्स एज गिवन बाय सिगमंड फ्रॉइड, हम लोग ईद क्या है, ईद में हम लोगों को जो हम लोगों का सेल्फ एनालिसिस है, सेल्फ आइडेंटिटी है, वो हम लोग जानते हैं ईग में। और ईगो में क्या होता है, जो प्रैक्टिकल एसेंस है, प्रैक्टिकली हम लोग कोई भी काम अगर एग्जीक्यूट करना चाहते हैं उसे बोलते हैं द ईगो। एंड व्हाट इज अगेन द थर्ड स्टेप, दैट इज सुपर ईगो। सुपर ईगो में क्या होता है, जो हम लोगों का मॉरल एसेंस है, द lineage of moral or ethics is imbibed in the concept of super ego. So super ego is the concept where we have the instinct, that is moral instinct or the ethics, which is always back of our mind in order to carry out something. Now what is libido? Libido is the essence, that is the urges, that is the carnal desires, or we can say the sexual desires that we have, which can be carried out from, we have the inner urge from the unconscious to carry out those kind of activities, and that can be as a whole termed as the libido. It is not only the carnal desires, but a lot of things can be included in it. In the higher level you will understand it. Okay, so these four concepts of the personality test or personality or the unconscious was given by whom? It was Sigmund Freud, and it is very important in respect to your exam. So hope this is clear. You have jotted down whatever I have said and whatever I have written on the board. Next we have defense mechanism. Now what is defense mechanism? It is the mechanism by which we can make ourselves defensive. That means in order to face a situation, or in order to adjust with a situation, or in order to compromise with a situation, we need some kind of defense mechanisms within ourselves which works in the internal part of our body and mind. So what are the four steps of defense mechanism? They are repression, projection, reaction formation, and rationalization. So the first one is repression, and this is very common. Common in the sense that we have a kind of an adjustment. This is nothing but it is a kind of an adjustment. Adjustment with what? We compromise here. We compromise to a higher extent where we actually have a conflict between our inner thoughts and what we carry out in our activities. So there is a contrast between what we are thinking and what we need to do in accordance with the situation or in accordance with the authority under whom or for which we are working. So that is repression. So there will be a lot of questions. Input text based questions आप लोगों को इस तरह पूछा जाएगा कि कोई एक सिचुएशन है, एक सिचुएशन दिया जाएगा, कोई एक पेशेंट है जो अपने प्रॉब्लम्स को शेयर नहीं करके वो सिचुएशन के साथ एडजस्ट करते हैं, एंड व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म इज इट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, दिस इज जस्ट अ शॉर्ट एग्जाम्पल. तो आइडेंटिफाई द डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म. तो उस क्षेत्र में ये डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म कौन सा होगा? आइडेंटिफाई इट. इट विल बी रिप्रेशन. Why repression? Because we are repressing our thoughts. That means we are pressing our thoughts, our inner thoughts, and we are trying to compromise with the situation and make something new to it. So the adaptation is repression. Next we have projection. Projection means the inner thoughts is projected or expressed, and you are not in a mode of compromising where you are not, you are trying to express your thoughts and work according to your inner thoughts. So next we have reaction formation. So whenever we are getting some kind of contrast or some kind of conflict with the situation or with the environment, and there is a conflict between both of them, we have a reaction formation. That means we voluntarily do something which is totally opposite to the situation. So that is reaction formation. And the last one is rationalization. That means you need a logical understanding of the situation. So you need to be adjusted with the situation, but there must be a logical reason to that. So if you are adjusting or if you are compromising, it is not because that you have to or you are bound to, but there is a logic to be bound to that, or there is a logic to be compromising with that. तो आप लोगों को क्या है, रिप्रेशन तो हमने समझा ही दिया है. नेक्स्ट है प्रोजेक्शन, जहाँ पे हम लोग अपने इनर थॉट्स को एक्सप्रेस करते हैं एंड वी डोंट कॉम्प्रोमाइज विद द सिचुएशन. नेक्स्ट है रिएक्शन फॉर्मेशन. रिएक्शन फॉर्मेशन में क्या है, हम लोग कोई भी एक सिचुएशन में अगर है तो वो सिचुएशन को हैंडल कैसे करते हैं, अपने आप के रिएक्शंस को दिखवा के. तो ये दिखाने के वजह से हम लोग उस सिचुएशन को वैसे टैकल या डिफेंस करते हैं फ्रॉम आवर पॉइंट ऑफ साइड. लास्ट वाला है रैशनलाइजेशन, जहाँ पे हम लोग एक लॉजिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग समझाते हैं कि अगर हम लोगों को कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ करना है तो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ व्हाट, उसका बुनियाद क्या होगा, तो उसका बुनियाद एक लॉजिकल रीजनिंग और एक एक्सप्लेनेशन होगा. तो compromisation on the basis of logical understanding is rationalization, which is totally opposite to repression. So whenever we are getting two conflicting things or we need to identify the opposites, it will be repression and rationalization on two different ends. Yes, hope this is clear. Next we have the 5-stage theory of personality, and this is on the basis of whom? The psychologist who was responsible for the 5-stage theory is Freud himself, and he has given this 5-stage theory. This is also very important on the basis of our psychoanalysis, where he have tried to explain the person's growth from childhood itself until his death. So the 5 stages are: oral stage, which is the stage of infancy. That is the anal stage. Anal stage is a stage where we express our thoughts with our natural calls or going to the washroom. Natural calls mean the going to the washroom. So a child, first he will be trying to explain himself or trying to relate with the society with oral thoughts. That means with the sounds that he makes or with the expressions in his face. Next he comes to relate with the society with his anal stage, that is his stage of excretion or his stage of natural calls. Next we have the phallic stage, and phallic stage is a stage where a person identifies his adolescent character or his mental and physical urges. Then we have, later comes the latency and genital stage, which is an improvisation or which is a development of our psychological needs, of our physical and mental needs. So here we come to know the 5 points, which is important. Yes, it is important, but we need to know and identify these 5 stages. So if you want to know into a detailed version, so you can go through the lecture session that we have provided in BPS, where we have explained chapter wise, topic wise the important points. Yes. Next we have now humanistic approach. Now who is the person who is the two persons who are responsible for the humanistic approach is yes, the humanistic approach was given by Carl Rogers and Abraham Maslow. All of a sudden I am blank actually. So Abraham Maslow, or we can also say Maslow, and Rogers. So these two persons have given the concept of humanistic approach, where they have emphasized on the concept of self-actualization, where it is very necessary for a person to understand his placement in the society and his real innovative characters or creative visualization, or we can say the creativity that he possesses. So it is a process in which one can harness one's behavior, one's characters, one personality test. So on the basis of that, we need to self-actualize. That means from the practical sense of view, we need to understand our inner thoughts and work accordingly. So that is the humanistic approach. Next we have the assessment personality, that is how can we assess, how can we evaluate personality. हम लोग personality को कैसे परीक्षण कर सकते हैं, उसका methods है psychometric test, that is a combination of maths and logic. Then we have the self-report measures. Self-report measures are the measures where we need to identify our own behavior and personality. Then we have the projective techniques, and then we have the behavioral analysis. Now these 4 are the assessment procedure in which we need to identify our own personality. Next we have the important thing is, that is the self-report measures, and here we have already discussed the 16 PF and Eysenck's personality test, including MMPI. So MMPI is also very important, that is multiphasic. Okay, Minnesota multiphasic. So this is a test which tries to understand our psychoanalysis, or we can say the higher meanings that is that can be cured from the clinical perspective, that is from the clinical psychologists who are Hathaway and McKinley. So the persons are Hathaway, I have already explained it, and McKinley. These two persons are responsible to propound this measure, because according to them a person can be clinically examined when a person has to go through this multifaceted test, or we can say it is a multifaceted test in order to analyze neuro problems, which are related with our understanding, with which are from birth itself. So hope this is clear here. Please jot it down. Yes, jot it down. Next we have the projective techniques, and the projective techniques I will discuss it in the next lecture, that is on Tuesday. Yes, hope you all join me in that session. Yes, the projective techniques are also very important, which we need to discuss in detail in order to make your time, utilize your time actually. So, we will be continuing with this in the next session, that is lecture 3, that is on Tuesday, and please be in touch with the BPS website so that you can tally with the time. So, the time should be very clear, and because we have not yet even I don't know actually the time for Tuesday. So for Tuesday, do keep in touch so that you can have a tally of the class which is to be conducted on Tuesday for lecture 3 psychology. We will be continuing with this. And one more thing I am going to tell you is that tomorrow is 14th. Yes, it is a special day. Why? It is Mother's Day. Your mothers are very important in your life. Without mother, we don't have a life, we don't have a happy or healthy life. So do respect your mother. The only thing I just suggest, do respect your mother. And one more thing is that tomorrow is 14th. One more important date is that in your NTA, the website, the thing will be disclosed is that your exam centers will be disclosed. Your exam centers, the list of centers according to your roll numbers and according to your names will be provided in the NTA website tomorrow, that is on Sunday. And do keep in touch with NTA, because 3 days prior to the exam, that is on 21st it will be starting, by 18th you will be getting your admit cards or your hall ticket. So be very careful and be very in connection with BPS as well as NTA in order to update yourself with all the updates, required updates. So until then, keep preparing.